Legend has it that the Spear of Longinus pierced the body of Jesus Christ. Whoever possesses it holds the power to rule the world. Hitler once believed that the supernatural force of this spear could determine the fate of mankind. Just imagine a normal morning. You're cleaning out your grandfather's old storage room, and in the pile of rusted things, you find a long metal rod, sharp at one end, engraved with strange carvings, glowing faintly when touched by light. Someone said, it could be the Spear of Longinus. The first day, nothing unusual. The second day, your phone lights up by itself at 3 a.m., displaying a single sentence, "Don't let the light touch it." Since I found it, I've started remembering things I've never lived through. Ancient battlefields, the stench of blood, screams echoing through the smoke, and a feeling as if I've held it before in another life. I was sure I'd locked it away in the cabinet, but that night, when I woke up, my hand was gripping the shaft of the spear. And the spear, it was breathing. In that moment, I knew it was no longer just an object. Every night, I dream of it. A figure bound to the cross, silent, still, like a symbol frozen in time. I raise the spear, and as the light shines down, I wake up. My hand trembles, with a faint red mark on my palm, like ash. The next morning, where the sunlight touched the spear, the metal had changed. It felt like it had just awakened. After everything that had happened, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I started researching, and the more I read, the more I realized this wasn't just some ancient relic. It was a current, a thread running through history itself, passing through the hands of the most powerful men in the world. All of them had one thing in common. The first time it was ever mentioned was in the Bible. They say, when Longinus drove the spear into his side, blood and tears flowed out, merging like light and shadow, like power and sin. Some believe that moment wasn't just pain. It was a rupture, a crack torn open between mankind and the divine. A curse that echoes through every age. And from that moment on, the spear vanished from Roman records, only to resurface centuries later, in a place no one expected. In the 8th century, Charlemagne, the emperor who founded the Holy Roman Empire, was said to carry the spear into every battle. They say, whenever he raised it, enemies trembled, and even kings bowed their heads. But with such power came the beginning of a curse, that whoever possessed the spear would rise in glory and fall with it. And on the very day he dropped the spear, Charlemagne fell ill. And just hours later, the great emperor passed away. The spear lay there, silent. They say, from that day forward, the spear no longer belonged to any one man. 1,000 years later, history repeats itself. Hitler, a man who believed himself chosen, was obsessed with the idea that whoever held the Spear of Longinus would control the fate of the world. But perhaps he never understood that the spear never truly belonged to anyone. It was only waiting for the moment history would need someone to punish. And strangely enough, just 2 hours after the Allies reclaimed the spear, Hitler took his own life. No one knows if it was coincidence or the final curse. Some say that from that moment on, the light at its tip went out, as if it were merely sleeping, waiting for another hand to awaken it. Every night, in my dreams, I find myself on an ancient battlefield, light flashing, swords clashing, and the breath of those who have fallen. I'm no longer just an observer. I am there. I wonder, does everyone who's ever touched the spear leave a part of their memory behind in it? And sometimes I feel, when I look at it too long, someone from within is staring back at me, as if the souls of those who once held the spear are looking back at me. I don't know if I'm studying it or if it's studying me. Every night I hear whispers in an ancient language no one understands, and I began to understand. Perhaps those before me didn't die because of it, but were called by it. If you're reading this, here's my warning: don't try to find it. The spear doesn't belong to mankind. It only chooses its bearer when history demands a price.